Hi, this is Project Spark Game Mechanics. I'm Lady Lex UK, and today we are doing Brave. This is the game for the month, and Brave is a twin stick shooter, and it has some mechanics based around firing of arrows. So the tutorial today, we're going to be looking at changing an arrow type, a right stick shooting mechanism, and also some growing platforms. So let's show you what I built here. So here we have Merida, and I've got a follow camera as normal, but if I press the right stick, instead of moving the camera, just moving the camera, it's going to also fire arrows forwards, whichever way forward she is facing. So she'll turn the same, but she'll also fire arrows while she does it. And I'll just restart that because you probably missed. If she fires at this platform, there we go, like that, then it will grow and she can then climb up here. Now these are another one that you can grow, but because I've got the wrong sort of arrow, I have to change it to moon arrows. So I'll change it to moon arrows like that with the press of a button. And then, if I can get that one over there, there we go. So now, oops, I overshot. There we go. So you can get across. That's the whole idea of that. Okay, and I can swap backwards and forwards between the different arrow types as needed. You could put some sort of special effect on the arrows so that you can see that they are completely different, that they can do different effects to the arrow, but I haven't done that in this instance because I've just done some a basic mechanic. Okay, let's have a look then and see how this is done. Let's start off with Merida herself. So we'll go into her brain. Let me try not to capture her frock. There we go. Right. So at the top here, once equip Archer's Bow, and we're going to set a number variable called arrow to 1. So this will set as a default the first arrow type, which is the nature type. When arrow equals 1, we'll display that symbol there, and we're going to make it green. Otherwise, we're going to display it in white. So if we haven't chosen number 1, then it's going to be white, and if we have chosen it, it's going to be coloured. Now I've chosen to have each of these different types of arrow a different colour, but if you were using this for anything else, you could have the same colour, so it just shows that it's highlighted. You can make it quite subtle actually, so it just looks like it's glowing. You can experiment about with that. So that's what we've done there. We've got the different displays for each of those arrow types. And here is the button that controls it. So when left bumper is pressed and arrow is less than 3, then we're going to increment our arrow number. Otherwise, we're going to set our arrow number back to 1. So it will go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. So that is the arrow selection, and that is all you need to do to change your arrow types and have a display. Now the right stick twin stick shooter, you'll notice I've used the twin stick shooter brain, but I've taken out lines and changed them slightly. First of all, I wanted a follow camera and not the overhead camera, so I've got follow camera with ignore prop collision, and that's because I've popped a hairdo on top of my character. And here is the twin stick shooter part. When right stick without mouse remapping. Now I've left that in, but to be truthful, you probably don't need it, because if you're going to be playing on the Xbox and you're not going to be using it for PC at any point, this is pretty much not relevant. I just haven't changed it and haven't removed it. When you turn in direction of the right stick from camera space, and then shoot in direction forward. That's it. That's the entire mechanic for shooting your arrows with that right stick while also turning the character camera. Here is the version of it that was originally in for the PC. That's not actually doing anything now, so you could easily just remove that and it won't make any difference to your game. So that's the arrow mechanic, the shooting and the choosing. Here we have our platforms. Now the idea here is you have a logic cube, and that is what you're actually trying to hit. It is invisible. It looks as if you're trying to hit the branch, but you've got a much bigger target than that branch. Makes it much easier for your player, but you can make that smaller and larger depending on how difficult you want to make it. But basically we've got this logic cube and this branch is attached, so I can move that anywhere I like. But bear in mind that you don't have much directional control of the arrows, and you might prefer to make it at a level that makes it easiest. So make sure that the arrows can actually hit your target when you're making your game. So when you hit the target with an arrow, when bump, and it is a projectile, and logic cube player arrow equals 1. So in my game I have actually defined an object variable to be my player. You could just, instead of these two, you could just do an in-world pick of your character. But that's in this game, because I have defined it as an object, that's why it's in that way. Or you could just put in player. But the best thing to do is to actually in-world pick your actual character. When windy tree branch visible equals to, so windy tree branch is made invisible, so that's the original branch, and then we're going to create another branch above the cube, and this is the branch. It's a templated object, and its forward vector will be its creator forward, which is that logic cube, and then for 2 seconds it's going to grow 1.25%. You'd have to experiment with this to see you can get it the sizes that you want and the time and durations, etc., to get it to be how you want it. And it's the same with the asteroids. We have these logic cubes. It looks as if you're hitting the actual asteroids, but you're not. You're aiming at the cubes. And it basically says the same thing. When the projectile arrow equals 2 this time, then we're going to make that asteroid invisible and create a new asteroid. And then we're also going to destroy the entire thing, because we've created a new asteroid. The position we don't need these to be in the way when you do your jumping. So once you've created your asteroid, this entire assembly is going to be destroyed, and we'll just be left with your platform. So there we go. And in the asteroids themselves, when they are visible, we're going to display a moon symbol at world position center. Now you may have noticed that because it's in the display layer, you can see those from quite a distance. You could change that so that it's line of sight with the player, if you wanted to. I haven't made this any more complicated than it needs to be. I'm just showing you the basic mechanic. So there we go. There is our Brave mechanic for today. I hope that was useful. Thank you for watching, and keep sparking.